myself tonight. Losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. With your love, with your love, I'm losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. Losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. With your love, I'm losing myself. I'm losing myself tonight. Losing myself.
And welcome to the Olympian Table, and here we are today. Morning. How you doing today, James?
Man, I can't complain. I'm running and gunning this morning, but I'm here. I can't.
Tell us about your new in-house cook.
Well, man, it's not
Come on,
in-house.
I mean, that's why we're starting late today, guys. No excuses. I've got no excuses. James has got excuses. I always start on time.
No, that is not why I'm late. I mentioned that as a reason that's going on in my life about my weight, but that's not why I'm late. But since you brought
it's
it
all
up,
that good cooking that you got from your mother-in-law.
Yeah, she's always been a good cook. But now she only lives about 6 miles from me. They moved, which they were almost an hour away. And man, she just calls and say, "Hey, I made," and runs down the menu, and I'm over there, man.
So is it a bit like going to Papa's? Well, I'll have a brisket, and you order from the menu, and then she brings it over to you.
Oh no!
Or she just drops it in the door.
Oh no, she cooks it, and I'm responsible for coming and grabbing the rest of it. But hey, man, I don't mind coming to enjoy that. If she's gonna cook it, I'm all for it, bro. I am all for it. I appreciate it though.
I'm all for it. And does she what sort of foods does she cook? I mean, does she cook all sorts of food, or does she do?
Also, so it's soul food. So just to give you last night, so she made some beans and rice, and cabbage and sweet potatoes.
I'm into all types of food. I like to experience different
chicken and all kinds of things. It's just it's an amazing experience, I must say. I appreciated driving the hour or so to go, but man, driving less than 10 minutes now is so much better. So much better. Much better.
I got about it. I thought it was fun when you came in.
But yeah, it's good. It's good, man. Good stuff.
So I want to sort of push the order a little bit, actually, and I know we've sort of got it, but I want to go belly up on the order of the things that we've got on the menu today to discuss. Let's talk about Dallas Love Field Airport shooting.
Oh man!
Come on, James. You tell us what your solution to this continuing problem is.
Solution? Well, first of all,
arm everybody.
There's not this isn't regular. This is something that, of course, you don't always see happen. Someone bringing a gun into the airport. Excuse me. That they start shooting inside. Well, unfortunately, where we live today, people don't respect the airport like they used to. I think the airport used to get a whole lot more respect.
Number 5, Jacob.
That's Everett, not Jacob. There is typically. Let me see if I can get on here. Oh yeah, that's the wrong link, huh? Yep. Let me see if I can find. Is the internet going slow in here for y'all?
There it is.
There it is. I was gonna say I thought I saw he had opened it.
I'm gonna call him Jacob too.
Oh man. Anywho, so the respect for the airport back in the day, when you went to the airport, you got
When
on
you
the
say
plane.
the day, when was
they're
the
back
day?
in the, let's just say time before
Okay, give me a
all
year.
these millennia. Let's say the 80s.
Okay.
70s, 80s, whatever. People would, when you went to the airport, it was an experience. You kind of put on your best dress, because it was kind of a
Bit
formal
like
thing.
Wilmington.
Those folks that flew, it was a kind of a privilege. You didn't, you had to have a little bit of money to fly, right? Now I go to the airport, man. People are in pajamas and headscarves and tank tops and all this crap. So there's no real respect anymore for flying, for one. But for some idiot to come inside the airport and to begin to shoot a weapon. Now, I guarantee you this has something to do with a man. I don't know that that's come out, but I think this has something to do with a man. Look at that woman, was probably some jaded wife or woman or something, and she has had enough of his stuff. So I don't know. I think it's Dallas Love is the smaller airport in the DFW area, and she went up to the ticket counter apparently and shot the weapon. Now they shot her in the lower extremities, is what the article said, to kind of stop her. So she didn't die. So I guess we'll find out exactly what happened to her in her brain to make her think that this was a good idea.
So back to your conservative roots. Is this what reason would you put this down to? Mental issues.
I told you. I think it's about a man. I think it's some kind of
What man is
relationship.
worth shooting?
What anyone is worth dealing with this. That's what I think it's about. I think it has to do with her being
From personal experience.
some kind of
go out there and
relationship
get
or
yourself
something.
another one.
Yeah, exactly.
There's plenty of them.
Plenty of them out there. But this is wild to hear this, because the airport, of course, was shut down for quite some time.
Has there been any other shootings in any other airports? I just thought it was a weird place for a shooting, to be perfectly honest.
Not recently. I haven't heard of anything. We would have heard about it. I mean, there was that one in Mexico. That was a few months ago, but they were trying to blame that on the cartel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was they doing, trying to stop somebody getting across the border
I
with
don't
drugs
know.
or something?
I think the cartel might have taken the blame on that one, and it really wasn't them. But
So who'd you blame for that? Nancy Pelosi?
possibly Nancy
You gotta
Pelosi.
blame
You
somebody.
never know.
Yeah.
I don't put anything past her. Not these days. Not these days, man.
You've got to keep laughing. If you don't keep laughing at it, I'm telling you, you end up crying.
Yeah.
You have got
You got
to
to find
keep
some
laughing.
humor in it.
You have.
You definitely got to find some
You
humor
have.
in it. I totally agree.
You know, just try and keep a bright. There's a great song that we have in England called "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life."
Yeah. The bright side of life is the
something
one
you've
with
got-
you alive in it.
What's that?
The bright side of life is the one with you alive in it.
Yeah, live it while it's there.
That's it, bro.
Yeah. So, one of the things I want to sort of I actually put it in, but we didn't have time to discuss it last week. Was let's talk about number 2 on the list. The moment the Hoover Dam is rocked by a massive explosion and caused by transformer fire. Now, notice, James, I want you to notice this isn't from Fox News or CNN. All right, all the British tabloids are normally in the middle of the road compared by American standards. This is from the Daily Mail. So I just want you to know that.
I see it.
All right, and it basically says authorities assure nearby residents that power from one of the country's largest hydroelectric facilities will continue as mega drought sends reservoir to historic lows. Now, there's another part to this that I found out that the levels of Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam, they're coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for each, I think it's for each 1,000 foot that the water level comes down, 800 homes could lose electric because of that. So far this year, because of global warming and all the effects to that, it's lost like 160,000. It's lost. I mean, it's got the potential of losing electric for like 160,000 homes. Which you imagine what damage that could cause to Las Vegas.
Well,
And Las Vegas, I think, is a good place to live. I mean, I'm not a gambler.
nobody lives in Vegas, though.
What's that?
Nobody lives in Vegas.
I wouldn't
They
mind
live-
living in Vegas.
They live outside. Was it
Right, they
Carson
do.
and the little surrounding
Rock?
suburbs? Yeah,
Red Rock.
outside.
Cartel live in Vegas.
They work in Vegas. They don't live there.
No, they fly a lot out of Vegas.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, if it's shut down, Vegas is like the rest of. Shoot, it's almost like the stock market. Vegas goes down. There's a problem. I don't even think they shut down Vegas too long for COVID, did they?
No, they didn't.
Just for a little while. I know it was shut for a little while, but it was still kind of running.
One of our agents in the office went to Vegas recently, and when I was in the sports business, when I was in the ice rink business, and we had the sports store, we used to go to Vegas every January for the hockey show.
Right.
All right, and the Bellagio when they have the water.
Yep.
Well, they used to have that every 15 minutes. Well, apparently now it's dropped down to maybe every 30 minutes, and so much has changed. You used to go in there and get free buffets, or $5 buffets, or $9 buffets, or whatever it was. Now the buffets are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
The MGM buffet, she paid, I think, $49 on a Friday
Wow.
night or on a Saturday.
That is a bit pricey.
So, it can get up there now. But it's still an interesting place to visit. All right, can we talk?
But losing power in homes, of course, is never a great thing. But we know that we run that risk. I was just surprised. I didn't hear much about this. I think this is the same article I saw. You didn't hear a whole lot of talk about it. It's not juicy enough
But
for it
that's
to hit
it. But I was surprised
big-
that there wasn't more.
coverage on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Because they reckon that even if the water on Lake Mead gets too low, it's not going to produce anything.
Yeah.
And the water's all the way down. I mean, the water is down everywhere. Lake Conroe's running low as well, which is north of Houston. I don't know what effect that would have on boating, to be perfectly honest, up there. I used to have a friend who used to have a nice 22-footer boat, or 24-footer boat, and he used to love it. And I think it's just an interesting time at the moment, but with everything going on. And then, of course, let's talk about the article that I really know you want to talk about. Was this Nancy Pelosi's going to cause war on China? Is that what you? Is that what you're telling me?
at home, bro.
Come on, can you honestly be serious? You honestly think that Nancy Pelosi is going to cause a war between China?
It's not about her causing the war, her presence. So, are you aware what the issue is with China? Of course, Taiwan is a sovereign area for China, the island. So, us going over there and just kind of showing up uninvited is a problem, because that's one of their areas where they figure, hey,
Have Taiwan invited us?
No, they're not. We're not invited. And earlier in the year, several senators and congressmen or whatever ended up going over there, bipartisan, by the way. So
Which is good. I think that's
right.
good.
They went, but they weren't invited. They just kind of popped up. They weren't notified. So if you have your your government diplomats coming over to our country, we should know. We should know that you're coming. So I get it. So now now you want to send Nancy Pelosi over here for what?
Well,
She's literally third in power in the country. Why is she coming over here?
this is what I've got a number of angles on this that I've got a feeling on. One is, I think with something like that, especially with the tensions between China and China, I do think that Taiwan should invite Nancy Pelosi over. If there's going to be any type of visit, I think it's in the interest of everybody that Taiwan should invite Nancy Pelosi. The other part that I feel is interesting is if America is the strongest country that everybody says it is and the greatest country that it is and it's this and is that I think we've got a lot of more flaws than what we realise we've got. Gun control is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then why shouldn't we go there?
We're not invited. I wouldn't just show up at your house. I'd say, hey, Steve, you're at home?
I'd say come
Is
in
that
and bring
okay?
your mum's cooking.
Hey, exactly.
I'd say come in.
Because that's the relationship.
Bring in your mum's cooking.
That's the relationship we have, right? But we wouldn't just show up to someone's place uninvited.
But has Nancy Pelosi or any of the government said that in the event that, I mean, we've held, the US Navy has held different operations in that area, haven't they? They've had a presence in that area.
We all have, but they've known.
China's built their little islands,
They've known.
and now they're sinking.
You know how much Nancy Pelosi's worth? Her net worth? Just take a guess. If you had to guess.
100 million.
135 million.
Peasant.
Yeah. She's small fries. Must be nice. On a salary,
What was she worth?
on a salary position that makes $210,000 a year.
What was she worth when she went to office?
I don't know, but it wasn't 135 million. I guarantee you.
As her husband being with a DUI.
Oh yeah, I don't know if
Something
they.
with
I don't know if
DUI.
they made charges to him.
I've got no time for that. And what's number 4 we got on the list today? Pennsylvania man dies after being suffocated by pet boa stricta.
Okay, so these.
That was shot by police.
So
I mean-
they call the police. I guess whoever was with him calls the police, and I'm assuming. I'll be honest with you, Steve. I love your dogs. I don't love your dogs the way you love your dogs, of course, because they're your dogs. But if George was attacking you and ripping out your throat, I would have to probably kill George to get him off of you. You probably wouldn't want me to do that, but that would be the only way I know how to save you. It's your life or his life, right? Apparently, these people could not save this man because they
not
didn't.
with a boa constrictor.
They didn't
They're
want.
so strong.
They didn't want to kill the snake, so the cops came in and shot the snake. Of course, what the brain can go 2.5 minutes without air. So apparently, this snake had his wrapped around this dude's neck for over that time because he died from asphyxiation because he couldn't get brain to his oxygen.
What nationality was the guy? Do you know?
Well, he's from Pennsylvania, so he's probably white.
Okay, because if they're Indian, Indians have the snake as a holy animal.
Indians do not worship the same way as a snake. If I was an Indian man, they would have dissected him. That
Well, he's
back.
Elliot Sinsman,
No, they wouldn't. If they're
27
Indian
years
people
old.
have it, what's it?
So the cops came in and shot the snake.
Well, he hasn't got an Indian name, so we can take him as
No,
one.
so we'll just assume that he wasn't. But I don't know, man. I
I
would
don't
want
know.
you to kill the
Personally,
snake.
I don't know what people see in snakes.
I don't either.
I cannot see. I just don't see what people see in snakes.
I don't see the draw.
Yeah, I think it's because
In any other, I can even see the lizard thing, right? The chameleons and iguanas. Okay,
Oh, I had
they,
one.
they,
It
they
didn't
kind of
last too
cool.
long.
But you said they what?
Didn't last too long.
Oh, didn't
I put it in the sun.
they died in the sun?
It died in the sun.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a real
But every other
comedian.
animal, but the snakes, I just don't get. I don't get the snakes, and people they mess around with them. No, not me. My son has a turtle. Got a 20-gallon tank in my freaking dining room with this turtle in it that runs and dives into the water every time I walk by, like I'm gonna rob him or something. But yeah, it's unfortunate that he lost his life, but he did. She did.
Snakes don't have it for me. Snakes do not have my vote.
Me neither, man. I'm with you. I'm a dog lover. Dogs and cows.
No,
Dogs
I'm a
and
dog
cows.
lover, but I mean, at the moment we've got 3 of them, and that's a little bit, it's a little bit hard work. But all will be worked out shortly.
Could I also for the guy who got his snake shot?
How do you kill a snake? I mean, do you just put
They shot
a
him.
little 9mm to its head, or what?
Well, technically, any headshot will work.
Yeah, anything to the head. That's what they. That's essentially what they did. They shot him in the head, and then it unraveled. But by that time, he was, the
The
guy
guy
was
had got
already
no oxygen.
no oxygen to his brain, so no help for him. Unfortunately,
That's sort of similar to the article that I brought up. Was it last week or the week before with the cull that happens in Florida when they have the boa constrictor cull in Florida? You not heard about that? The government, the Florida state, actually pay people to go and cull the boas that are in the marshes and everything else because they're killing all the natural habitat.
oh, the snakes are.
Yeah.
It's too
And
many of them.
originally what happened is people had the snakes like this. They didn't realise what they was taking on, a bit like taking on a puppy.
And they just release it.
And they release it, they put it in. And they caught one boa and it had like 200 eggs or 4, I don't know. It was a large number of
yeah.
eggs.
That's a lot.
So you're chasing it all the time. And then, come on, let's get on to the biggest news of the day.
Is it?
It's the
What
biggest news of the day. Mega Millions. Come on.
Man.
We'll finish off with Mega Millions.
Mega Millions, right? So, of course, we're in Texas, and let's see what.
But did you know Mega Millions is in 50 states?
Yeah. That's how I was going to see which states are included.
Get out there and buy your ticket. It's a
So the Mega Millions
it's a 300.
is it's all of it. I mean, everybody can play. 45 states plus DC, U.S. Virgin Islands. So it is up to $1 billion.
Have you got the page?
Let me make sure.
It's just the link. Everett.
I think that's what it was. Because the sign that I passed by today, it was all 9s. Did you see the sign over there? It's at
I did.
1.02
They can't fit.
billion.
They can't fit the numbers on, so they just
Yeah.
put 99999.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So 2 days from now, somebody
I
could
put a
win.
link in Discord.
I didn't see the link. Oh,
So-
yeah, I see it.
So one ticket wins millions in Ohio. Somebody won it over there, but 1.02 billion. And then, you know what? This is when everybody starts to play. So it really just
Oh,
decreases the
absolutely.
chances in winning.
Me too. But the part that I find interesting is, do you know there's only ever one person that's ever won any part of Mega Millions in Texas?
One?
Yeah, he won 2 million in somewhere in North Texas.
Really?
Yeah, nobody's ever won the flat thing.
Yeah, 1.02 billion dollars. Man. And those numbers really,
And, that's not the highest number ever. I think the highest it ever went to was like 1.5.
And think about what would be the first thing you buy?
Would I buy?
The first thing you buy.
Everybody says the same thing as what I'm going to say to you now. But quite honestly, it would be some of the people that I know that have supported me in my times, that have struggled with building my business, and they would honestly be the first people that I've
Okay, but what would you buy for yourself though? After you took taking care of your friends, your co-host on the Olympian Table, what would you buy for yourself?
Hair plugs?
What, are you saying that I can't hear?
Hair.
He said hair
I don't
plugs.
care about my hair.
Uh,
You know,
Hair's
there's no-
overrated.
Yeah.
Not when you're in your 20s.
Maybe a house, I'll be honest with you. But with some land that I could do
Land.
something with, because that's the thing. Always been one of my dreams, to own, some land.
Like tractor type land, or you have to get a.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd like to. I wouldn't farm it myself.
Well, who would farm it? You pay some farmers?
No, I'd lease it out to some farmers.
Oh. Well, you still have to get the grass cut,
but I'd still like to be in a position where, if I wanted to visit it from time to time, I could go there, even if it's just a small part of the holding. You know, just no matter. There's nothing pleasing to me more than watching old English sheepdogs run around a piece of land.
In a piece of land.
There's just that freedom with it. There's that freedom feeling, and it would just, there's just nothing like it. And that's what I love about, you know, my old English sheepdogs. And I said it's sort of up in the air where that is at the moment, but we'll see which way that goes. But no, I'm sort of that's what I would do. I don't really know what I'd do with it, to be perfectly honest. And you know,
Would you stop doing what you're doing now?
No.
Or would you still? I say the same thing. I always
No.
tell people I love what I do. I wouldn't stop doing it.
I might start an investment trust, but get some of the agents in the office involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they might be able to make a little bit more money off the commissions, but then at the same time we could fund some of them houses.
We could build our little boxable community.
Oh, let me tell you, that's the way to go.
Build a little boxable community
I might be
for those people.
I might be buying I might be getting a boxable myself. I think they're brilliant. I think boxable homes are.
I still think that's a great idea, and we'll probably see it here soon. But yeah, man, that mega millions, that can shoot somebody. They keep getting to the billion mark. You're gonna have to call it mega billions, because that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money.
Do you wish that one person wins it, or do you wish that a number of people win it? I'd like a number of people to win.
Okay, there's a problem with that.
The deal with a number of people is, I think more people would be helped if a group,
Right.
rather than just one person. Because usually when it's one person, it's some 89-year-old
What
grandpa.
I mean, I'd rather have one person win it in Minnesota, another person or another group win it in California, another group win it in Texas. That's how I'm relating to it.
Right.
That's what I would rather see. Because then more people are helped. But not all people that win the lotto are helped.
No. The cat. You think about let's say 1 billion. You probably walk away after taxes and crap with half of that. $500 million, $500 or $600 million. That is a lot of money. You can change some lives.
One of the problems with winning the Mega Millions is you haven't built it from zero, so you don't know how to manage it.
Yes.
And that's
why some people go broke, because they've never had that much money before.
And that's why a lot of sports players, we've had the same
Yes.
thing. You know, I'm from a sports background, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of sportsmen, they end up, you know, going broke. Boris Becker just declared bankruptcy.
Who did?
Remember Boris Becker, the tennis player?
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I think he's in jail actually for yeah. I don't know. Don't do your research, but I believe he is. But yeah, I mean, it's a difficult question. But one of the parts, this is me being cynical, that makes me laugh when they say, okay, if you win the lotto, go get yourself a financial advisor.
Right.
All you need is the wrong financial advisor and you're screwed.
Screwed. Yep.
And my best advice to anybody who wins the $1 billion at the Mega Millions is go out and buy yourself some real estate.
Can't
the
really
best
go
it
wrong.
is.
Yeah. Can't usually go wrong. Real estate's gonna.
And then, you look at, Kevin O'Leary and Mark Cuban and different things, and they said, make sure you've got a portfolio, and I think that's important.
Right.
Part of that is real estate.
Yep.
Part of that is stocks. Part of that is index funds.
Absolutely.
And spread it out a bit. There's no reason why you shouldn't be spreading out. What would you do with it, James?
I would make my mother sell her house and bring her closer to this area.
I know you give to the church. I know you give.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've got some stuff that we're still working on getting completed, but I would definitely give to the church for sure, and what they do with it, whatever. But I don't know that. I'm kind of like you. I would probably buy a house that was out, in the distance somewhere where I can bring my cows out there and have them on the same property, where I can just kind of look out in the back and see that they're there and they're eating and healthy. But I would still originate. I'd still do what I do.
I think the problem starts with people that change their lifestyle and they change their way of thinking too much.
Yeah.
The best way to treat money is you just put it away and forget it.
Let it work for you. Let it work for you for sure.
Anyway, so I guess that concludes it today.
Yeah, man. Just do a little bit, and as you'll see, we'll start cutting these things a little shorter. We don't want to, belabor the time, but talk about the hot topics and jump in and jump out. A little bit of real estate, a little bit of financial, a little bit of Pelosi here and there, sprinkled about.
Yeah, and we're on the air tomorrow for the Texas Real Estate Show. So, if you want, come and tune in.
Absolutely.
Come and see us on a Wednesday. It's the Olympian Table at 10 o'clock. Then on a Thursday, you've got the Texas Real Estate Show, which is at noon. So come and join us tomorrow. Take care.
Y'all take care.
I'm losing myself with your love. With your love, I'm losing myself. I'm losing myself tonight. Losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. With your love, with your love, I'm losing myself.